Hi.
I'd like to ask you a question about, on the heavyweight front, you recently set a deadline for John Jones to face Tom Aspinall or risk losing the title. And with that situation evolving, what criteria are you using to decide uphold legacy by waiting for Jones or prioritize division activity by clearing the belt?
You said the timeline for Jones, 2 weeks to decide what to do with the title, whether it takes the fight or you're going to strip him. What do you think is more important, to keep the belt there so he can uphold his legacy, or we move the heavyweight division, take the title away from him?
John Jones called us last night and retired. John Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Oh, we gotta talk about John Bones Jones. We gotta talk about John Jones again, man. And well, as you guys heard, Dana himself finally, after months and months and months, finally confirmed that John Jones has officially retired from the UFC. So he finally decided to stop ducking Tom Aspinall and just retire. I mean, he's a complete joke. Not only him, but the UFC. The UFC is a complete joke because, as you guys heard, Dana said that John Jones called him the night before to tell him that he retires. And if John Jones would have never called the UFC or Dana White last night, guess what? Nothing would have happened. John Jones wouldn't have been stripped if it wasn't for John Jones telling Dana that he's retired. Because the fact that the UFC were still trying to force his fight happened when John Jones clearly told the UFC that he just doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. He clearly stated that he wants to fight. Looks like he wants to fight somebody like Alex Pereira. Someone easy, someone that has no grappling, someone that just has striking, and just someone that has a hole in their game for him to take advantage and win. That's why he wanted somebody like Alex Pereira. Like when he talked about Alex Pereira, you could tell he just wanted to really fight Alex Pereira, you know? But I'm sorry, you have to defend your title against Tom Aspinall. All right, and the fact that he didn't, go over there and actually made it happen, it's an embarrassment to his legacy. It is. Because let's be honest, let's be real here. A lot of people are going to remember the stage of John Jones. The stage where he's out of the game. The only thing people are going to remember from John Jones is this last heavyweight run. This run is what people are going to remember for. They're going to remember John Jones as the one, as a ducker, as somebody who genuinely left, the UFC, left MMA in a terrible way. Like, he could have just easily just retired after Stipe. But the fact that he dragged this shit, and he managed to waste Tom, not only him, but the UFC managed to waste Tom almost 2 years of his prime, just waiting for John Jones, just for John Jones to just retire in the end, not to give him the fucking fight. And we already know why John Jones doesn't want to give Tom Aspinall the fight. He doesn't want to give Tom Aspinall the fight because Tom Aspinall too good for him. He's heavier than John Jones. He's faster than John Jones. He has the ground game, the grappling, the jiu-jitsu. So if John Jones wants to take Tom Aspinall to the ground, it's going to be complicated because he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And if he wants to strike, goes toe-to-toe with striking, I think John Jones is just too slow at this point of his career. I do think Tom Aspinall is just too fast for him. Faster combinations, more power. It's just overall just too good for John Jones at this point. So I understand why John Jones decided to call it a quits, man. And he decided to retire. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But it's embarrassing, the fact that it has to be this way, man. The way that it was the news were broken. The news were broken in the middle of a press conference in Baku, instead of just waiting for Vegas next week, right? Since Tom Aspinall is gonna go to Vegas for International Fight Week, he's gonna go see the event. That's where you should introduce Tom Aspinall with the fucking belt. Wrap it around his fucking waist how he deserves. This is a fucking embarrassment. It's an embarrassment that this has to happen to fucking Tom Aspinall, bro. Tom Aspinall has lost almost 2 years of his fucking prime, dude. It's sad to see. It is. And the fact that he wasn't able to get that fucking fight, it's a disgrace to John Jones and the UFC, man. They gotta really, really, really make it up to Tom Aspinall, bro. They gotta make it somehow to Tom Aspinall, because I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but
Yeah, we'll make it up to him. Tom Aspinall's a good guy. He's been incredible through this whole process that we've gone through. He's been willing to do anything, fight him anywhere at any time, and do this. And now he's like, I'll fight anybody. You tell me who, and I'll fight him. So Aspinall's been great. He's going to be a great heavyweight champion for us, and I'm excited to work with him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you have to make it up to Tom. You gotta give Tom a fucking $6 million fucking payday in a fight. You're gonna have to give him a $6 million fucking payday in his next fight. That is the only way to make it up to fucking John Jones. I mean, that's the only way to make it for Tom Aspinall, because Tom Aspinall has literally been frozen out. Someone as powerful, as impactful, as dominant as Tom Aspinall being sidelined, being frozen out because of some other man's ego, man. It's a disgrace. So they got to make it up for Tom Aspinall, bro. It's either you give him a $6 million payday, $7 million payday, give him a big fucking bonus, big money in his next fight. All right, pay him big, or bring in Francis Ngannou. I'm sorry, but Dana White needs to swallow his fucking pride. I am sick and tired of Dana White always being about Francis Ngannou. No, I'm not interested. Like, bro, are you fucking serious? Look what you just did to Tom Aspinall. You embarrassed. You tarnished a bit of Tom Aspinall's fucking legacy or career by leaving him frozen out, and by giving the priority to John Jones, man, instead of giving your priority to the real heavyweight champion. You gotta give him Francis Ngannou. I don't give up about this shit. You gotta give him Francis Ngannou. Since you didn't give him fucking John Jones, you gotta give him Francis Ngannou. So Dana White needs to swallow his fucking pride and bring back Francis Ngannou. Give him the fucking Tommy Aspinall fight. Give Tommy Aspinall Francis Ngannou, the big man, the real champion. Because don't forget about it, John Jones. Yes, he may have been the previous world heavyweight champ, but Francis Ngannou is a lineal heavyweight champ. He never lost the title. Remember, he left. Well, he left the UFC with his title. He left as a champion. So technically, he's still the linear champion. So if Tom Aspinall is able to fight someone like Francis Ngannou and beat him, he will become the linear heavyweight champion, because John Jones never beat Francis Ngannou for the heavyweight title. All right, and then after you give him Francis Ngannou, once he beats him, you gotta put him. You gotta put Tommy with Alex Pereira. You gotta fucking give Tommy Aspinall Alex Pereira and Francis Ngannou. You gotta give him the two big dogs in order for him to improve his resume, improve his career, his legacy, because this is what needs to happen. Because let's be real, when John Jones was going up in his big title reign, when he got his first title fight against Shogun Rua in a short notice fight, what did John Jones bring to the table for Shogun Rua, for Shogun to accept that fight at short notice? Let me tell you, nothing. He had zero. He had nothing. He was not known at all. All right, he wasn't known But Shogun Rua knew the task. He knew the task, and the task is to go over here and bring him in here. That is the task. So the task, Shogun Rua gave John Jones the fucking opportunity to go over there and fight him. Because Shogun Rua could have done the same shit that John Jones is doing. Alright? The same shit. Shogun Rua could have been like, who the fuck are you? Who is John Jones? Who are you? No, I'm not gonna give you a fight because I don't know who you are. Like he could, like Shogun Rua said, nah, alright, you're the next guy, let's go, let's do this shit. Like a real fucking champion, man. Alright? Don't get it twisted. John Jones's heavyweight run has been one of the worst heavyweight runs, or one of the worst runs I've ever seen. He go over there, fought Cyril Gane, a one-dimensional fighter that Francis Ngannou beat, and then you fight Stipe Miocic, who is a 42-year-old fighter who he's been like 3 years off training, off UFC, off fighting. He's just been, doing his thing, semi-retired, doing the firefighter stuff, being a actual Chad, being a lifesaver, saving lives out there, making a difference, helping the community, helping out, helping people, helping lives out there. He had to come back out of retirement, semi-retirement, to fight John Jones, a Stipe Miocic who literally had 1 foot outside the octagon, or you could say 2 foot outside the octagon at this point. But guess what? The fact that UFC gave John Jones a fight like this when he didn't even deserve it, it just shows how much John Jones has controlled the UFC. Because we already know the whole history of John Jones and all of his PDs, all of his runnings with the law enforcement, and just everything, that has everything in the fucking outside of the octagon. He's been a menace. It's been annoying, alright? But at last, even though it wasn't the way that everybody was expecting, at least a fucking parasite that is called John Jones is out of the UFC, retired, out of the sport, and hopefully the UFC doesn't decide to give this guy any chance to come back to the UFC, bro. Literally, you retire, you're out of the fucking game, alright? You had a chance to fight Tom Aspinall, but now it's over. So don't come over here with the fucking... And hopefully John Jones stays retired for good, because I just don't want to hear about John Jones. I don't want to be hearing his name anymore. He was literally, at this point, a cancer, a parasite to this company. Stalling the heavyweight division. Just terrible, man. Terrible from a fucking UFC heavyweight, from a UFC champion to be doing all this shit. Look what happened to GSP. When GSP fought John Hendrick, what did he do after that? He's like, you know what? I just don't feel like fighting anymore. And guess what he did? He retired. And he gave the fucking belt immediately. And then after he fought Bisping, what did he do after he fought Bisping? Retired, gave the belt away. But it's just, at this point, Dana White is too soft now. He's either too soft, or there was something between John Jones and Dana White, bro. Let's be real. There was something going on in here, because this is unacceptable. The fact that he was able to be treated this way for such a long time. Alright? Just imagine if GSP would have done what John Jones is doing right now. Oh my, you couldn't have heard the end of it, man. Dana White would have been so pissed. But yeah, it is what it is, bro. Thank God he's out. He's gone. Now you gotta give fucking Tommy Aspinall the big fights. Give him Francis Ngannou. Give him Alex Pereira. Give him the fucking big fights that John Jones wanted. Because we already know he wanted Alex Pereira for his resume. But guess what? Give that boy to Tom Aspinall. Give Tommy the fucking chance, alright? Give him Ngannou, man. You gotta bring Ngannou back now. At first, I was like, it makes sense that the UFC doesn't want Ngannou back because of all the stuff between Dana. Yeah. But now, after all this situation with John Jones, you gotta bring him back. You gotta bring Francis Ngannou back. All right, he has to bring him back so the real deal could start. All right, so I don't want to hear it anymore. So please give him Ngannou and Alex Pereira, so he could improve his resume, his legacy, and he could potentially be as big or just a big fucking name, man, because he deserves it, man. He's one hell of a fucking fighter. He's one of my favorite heavyweights, man, and he's just fucking amazing. He's phenomenal.
You heard about this, but seems like Francis wants to come back, and he says he changed his mind. Would you be open for him to come back if he really wants to, and then if he says okay to your conditions?
Francis says he changed his mind and he would consider coming back to the UFC. Would you be open to having Francis back?
He would consider coming back to UFC if what? One thing I've learned over the years about Francis doesn't always mean what he says publicly. What he says behind the scenes are different than what he says publicly. I'm not a big fan. I would be shocked if Francis ever came back here on lots of different levels. I'm not a fan, and he doesn't always mean what he says publicly.
Yeah, with Tom Aspinall being an officially champ, who is the number one contender right now? Whether it's Volkov?
So International Fight Week starts Monday in Las Vegas, and Tom will be in Vegas all week with us, so we'll get together with him.